Welcome to New Day Cleveland. I am Natalie Herbick, and if you are ready to have some fun, we have the show for you. We are in Kent, so just about an hour away from downtown Cleveland. You can make this a day trip or come here for the weekend. Every time I'm here, there's always something new to see. Whether it's residents opening up new stores or even Kent alum creating really neat things like this stop. This happens to be Off the Wagon. You never know what you're going to find when you come to the store. Well, right along Main Street, there's a lot of great places here. And there happens to be a barbecue joint that's just right around the corner, Acorn Alley. I can smell it from here, and that is where we will begin.
I have wanted to open up a barbecue restaurant for a really long time. I started doing barbecue over the past few years just as a hobby. Got interested in it when I was working at a butcher shop in the area. Started building my own smokers. And Kent has become my home, I guess. I'm not from Kent, but my family is. A lot of my family live here. So I just thought, I knew this is where I had to do it. Just to give you a quick run through, we got some specials here on this board. And then the rest of our menu's up here. All the meat is by the pound at the top, side dish is separate. And then some sandwiches down there at the bottom that come with a side dish. If you order meat by the pound, you literally just get that itself, and then side dishes are kind of a la carte based on that. We do have some combination platters that pair meat with side dishes, but for the most part, it's meat by the pound or a sandwich with a side dish. You know, we have a couple different types of coleslaw, your potato salad, baked beans, mac and cheese, cornbread. So I try and keep our meat selection on our menu pretty simple, very traditional. We have the brisket, pulled pork, sausage, turkey breast, spare ribs, and chicken. The two main options are the brisket and the pulled pork. Those are definitely by far the most popular. The Chop House sandwich is something I've interpreted as well from a restaurant I've seen in Texas. We take our brisket, sliced, also our jalapeno cheddar sausage. They get chopped up together, mixed up with pickled jalapenos and our traditional barbecue sauce. We have 4 barbecue sauces. 3 sit at the table. We have a traditional, it's your kind of Midwest style, heavy on ketchup and molasses. Not as sweet as something like Sweet Baby Ray's. But then we also have a spicy vinegar, something you'd see in the Carolinas, pretty much just vinegar and pepper. Then our third one, my favorite, is our peach mustard barbecue sauce. Whole grain mustard, yellow mustard, and roasted peaches in it. And then we have a fourth one that we recommend with poultry or chicken and our turkey, and that is an Alabama white sauce. So we smoke and prepare all of our meats and sides, all the food here on premise. This is actually our smoker right here. It's a gas assist, wood-fired smoker. So everything gets thrown in there. I think there's something that's incredible about like the transformation of a piece of meat throughout a smoker. That long cook time completely changes the properties and characteristics of a brisket after that such long cook. You know, you can cook a chicken a million different ways, but smoking it is so different from so many other ways to cook it. I think it's incredible. If someone's interested in doing barbecue, rather than them spending all the money to buy a brisket, smoke it themselves at home, take all that time, they can come in here and get a sandwich and a side dish for $10. A lot of the customers realize that, you know, it's just a couple of us that run this place. This isn't a corporate franchise or anything, and they can really tell how much we care about the food and the quality and our service as well.
Looks delicious, doesn't it? Keep in mind, though, Burnside Barbecue is closed on Mondays. Now, from handmade barbecue to handcrafted, here is a really unique boutique.
So at Handcrafted, we have all local artists. Everything in here is all handmade from artists around the state of Ohio. And even our furniture is made in the state of Ohio. This is from Ohio Hardwood Furniture. They're based in Peninsula, they have a showroom up there, but they actually have a mill in West Salem, so they make all the hardwood stuff right here in Ohio. I set it up like a living room, that way you can see the items in their actual function or in one version of what their function will be. So some of our wall hangings, you might not quite know where to put them or in what context to put them. So I put them up in a way that I would put them in my living room, that way you can kind of see them working. We have about 4 or 5 different card artists, I guess you could call them. We have some printing presses, and they kind of run the gamut. So we have sympathy cards, birthday cards, congratulations you graduated, hey I miss you cards, a little bit of everything. You definitely won't find these cards at big box stores. Some of them are kind of weird, some of them are very much inside jokes. If you watch a TV show, you'll get the quote, and you can't really find that in those big box stores. So these are actually pure 100% concrete creations. They're made from a company up in Perrysburg, and they make a variety of different shapes and animals and creations. You know, the cool thing about this is that sometimes I know what artists are going to drop off, and sometimes I have no idea. So some of them are a lot more predictable than others, so I have a very steady flow from them, and then others will bring me something super random and it sells right away. This is actually M&K Candle Company. It's a company based in Canton, Ohio, and she makes wax melts and a variety of different scents. We have about 5 different jewelry artists, and I wanted to bring in a variety of more of the costume jewelry versus the very fine pearls. So I tried to find a good mixture between the two. We have paint nights, watercolor, learning a new skill like knitting 101s. We also have kids classes, which is a really fun spin. We actually used to have a kids painting class in Kent, and unfortunately they closed a few years ago, so we're able to kind of fill that gap. I mean, I think everything has a story, and I think that's part of why you want to shop small. You want to know where this product came from. So having less than 50 artists kind of gives me the opportunity to know those stories. I think downtown Kent really works with this idea, and being able to shop local but also support local artists is kind of a cool experience.
Handcrafted is closed on Mondays. All right, after the break, fast and fresh Mexican food. I love the sound of this. Welcome back to our road trip to Kent. Okay, next, Mexican food prepared just the way you want it. This is Fresco Mexican Grill and Salsa Bar.
The concept of Fresco Mexican Grill and Salsa Bar is fast casual, fresh Mexican food. Salsa Bar is all complimentary. It's 9 fresh homemade salsas. We make each one fresh daily. They come in a variety of spice levels, from mild all the way up to the habanero, which is extremely spicy. There's also fresh limes and cilantro on the salsa bar. Most of the meals do come with tortilla chips, so you have all the salsas there at your disposal. One of the things that separates us from our competition would be the seafood tacos. We offer a large variety of seafood tacos. My favorite being the surf and turf tacos. Your grilled shrimp, your choice of chicken or steak, pineapple salsa, cabbage, and a zesty chipotle sauce. Those are excellent. We also do have Baja fish tacos, which are fried ocean perch. We do have the award-winning pulled pork tacos, as well as the award-winning barbacoa tacos. Barbacoa is more of a traditional, authentic taco. It's the soft corn tortilla, barbacoa, diced onions, cilantro, and the zesty chipotle sauce as well. We have excellent salads, again, all fresh. Greens on those. We actually just added an option to substitute spinach, so you can sub spinach for those. But yeah, we have 5 different salads. The majority of our menu is gluten-free, can be made gluten-free. And then we also offer anything on the menu can be done either vegetarian or vegan, with the exception of the tortilla soup, because there's already chicken in the soup. But if you do anything vegetarian style, instead of the meat, we'll substitute rice, both beans, cheese, and guacamole at no extra charge. And both beans are not only vegetarian, they are both vegan as well. We have frozen margaritas, frozen sangrias. And we actually have a Fresco Sangria, which is basically a mix of the margarita and sangria, which is my favorite. They're a little bit on the sweet side, but they are delicious. We also offer a large variety of Mexican beers. You can get it to go, you can call ahead and pick it up. We also now offer online ordering, which you can go to our website at getfresco.com, and there's a link there to click on for online ordering as well. Kent had this whole renaissance of a new, exciting, bringing some more energy. So we felt like nothing better than a colorful atmosphere for everybody to come and enjoy. It's loud, it's exciting, it's fast-paced, and but really all it comes down to is fresh food. A lot of people come in and it's nice to chat with them. I mean, there's a lady over here that was, she hasn't been in for 2 or 3 years, and she met up with her friends again, and she forgot what she used to order, and I remembered exactly what it was that she ordered, and she was very excited about that. So,
Fresco Mexican Grill and Salsa Bar happens to be open daily at 11 a.m. Our next stop, well, let's just say never underestimate the power of a handwritten note. This is Red Letter Days.
At Red Letter Days, we're all about creativity, people who love to read and to write things and just be a little creative and enjoy stationery. There's kind of a resurgence back to like penmanship and writing things by hand. So those are the kind of things we love here. Kent's just a great place. We have a lot of independent shops down here, and just to find something different that you don't find everywhere else. And I think there aren't a lot of really unique, fun, gifty, creative stores like ours around, so I thought it was a perfect spot. We really try to find companies that are really small and unique, and a lot of our cards are letterpress, so they're handmade, some of them right here in Ohio. Moleskins are just great. They have a beautiful binding and beautiful paper, and it's a great way to keep everything together. It's going to last a long time. So I started using it for just taking notes on things I do, and then I never lose it with loose papers everywhere. So we have Faber-Castell pens, which are a really beautiful brand of pens that are made. They're made in Germany, but their headquarters here in Cleveland, Ohio, so with creativity for kids. And they're just a beautiful pen. You'll have to try it. So, but when you feel it, the weight, the way it writes, it's very smooth. We've kind of become a little bit of pen snobs here at Red Letter Days. So, Off the Wagons are kind of our quirky, fun, funny, hilarious sort of side, and then this is our more like creative, boutique-y, fun side as well. So fun in a different way, you know. Our socks are one of our favorites. Just most of our socks have a funny little saying on them, but we also have like little wind-up things that move around. Some great gift items for your desk, and things that we always think about, what does the creative person want for a gift. So we also carry like a lot of creative things for young kids. So a lot of craft kits, and where it's like a whole kit in one where they can be creative and that kind of thing. So we also had like an extra space that used to be sort of a paint room before we acquired the store, and we were thinking, oh, that might be a really fun place to have this imagination lab that we created, and we're going to do birthday parties, and we do creative like events in there. Doing stuff with your hands, you can learn things better, and there's just an enjoyment in it, and I think just people kind of coming back to it, they realize how much they love doing those creative things, and that's why we're seeing a resurgence in that kind of thing.
Red Letter Days is right here on Main Street. They are open 7 days a week. Coming up, a very powerful reason to visit Kent State University. Welcome back to our road trip here in Kent. If you remember, there was one day back in 1970 that changed this town forever. Here is a look at the May 4 Visitor Center.
So every city has a history. Kent State is unique in that it made national news. So what we try and do here is explain the events of May 1st through May 4th, what happened to lead to the events where guardsmen in the Ohio National Guard shot 4 students and killed or wounded 9 others. So that's really what we try and do here. There are 3 galleries. The first gallery sets the context, and it's in this gallery where we really ask, especially our students or people who've been here before, to really walk in the shoes of the people before them. After that, there's a gallery with a movie that's very short, 11 minutes, where you can really learn about the day of May 4. The sights, the sounds. You can hear the guardsmen yell at the students. You can see students protesting against the guardsmen. You can see a recreation of where people were standing and what was happening. So that's a really powerful and important movie. And then you come out to a headline wall where you can look and see the international reaction and the national reaction and even the local reaction to what happened here, and see that this is an event that was carried in almost every major newspaper. There's also a little map there where you can look and see that this is still today the largest student strike in US history. So the events of this led to the largest student strike in US history. Nearly every state had a university that closed or shut down or had a protest because of the events of here and Jackson State 10 days later. And then you can look a little bit at the legacy, but the legacy is ongoing. So we also have some other things, like the walking tour, where you can go outside with an iPod and a Julian Bond narrated documentary and learn more about the events and see the sites. There are also something from each of the 4 students here. So you'll see Allison's hat that is very much of the day, very orange, very hippie-esque, very beautiful. You'll see Sandy's dink, or what would have looked like Sandy's dink, which is a throwback to the 50s when the university issued these silly hats for freshmen to wear. And if upperclassmen saw them, they could say Dink Frosh and they were supposed to bow and curtsy. It's a very 1950s type of culture. You'll see poetry from the 2 gentlemen who were killed, Bill and Jeff. And those are very powerful. We have to learn from this event. And that's something we think about a lot, and something that Kent State thinks about a lot. That's something that we're really working towards, figuring out how we can learn and how we can teach from this. I would say if you have no other connection, you at least need to understand your First Amendment rights, and you need to understand our American history. This site is a national landmark for a good reason. It's because it's the best site to look at the student movement of the 1960s. So if you're a student, you know a student, or care about students, this is a place for you to visit. It's that important.
Admission to May 4 Visitor Center happens to be free. They are closed on Sundays. You know, Kent wouldn't be this quaint town without a cozy little coffee shop. So here is Tree City Coffee.
So the owners wanted to open a shop like this in Kent because they felt there was a need for a community coffee house. There's a great vibe in Kent here between the students and the businesses, the people that have lived here, the townies, and so they kind of wanted to bring that all together. So when you come into Tree City, you're really going to see local baked goods. We've got locally roasted coffee out of Cleveland. We have fresh pastries every day. We have fresh ground natural peanut butter and some amazing coffee drinks. We do some delicious scones. That's one of our featured items that everybody really loves here. We have some great flavors like maple brown butter, cranberry pumpkin seed, wild Maine blueberry. We also do some great breakfast sandwiches. So the breakfast sandwiches are probably the most popular among the college students because we serve breakfast all day long. And we've got some great ones. Our spinach feta and egg is amazing and everybody loves it. Our coffee is either organic, fair trade, direct trade. We try and feature varieties that are the best of the best. So we have your classics. We do a really great Brazilian direct trade. That's like our house coffee. We have a blend that is a bold roast that we serve that one every day, and then we also have an organic decaf that we served every day. We do organic espresso and organic decaf espresso. And surprisingly, not a lot of shops have decaf espresso, but everybody needs it once in a while. Our coffee is for sale. We have it by the pound right now, and you can get it whole bean, or we can grind it for you, and we can grind it for any type of brewer that you have at home. We have some great cocktails. We have a full liquor license here at Tree City, so that means we sell every day except for Sundays. We have 20 bottles of wine for retail sale under $20. All of our wines are either sustainably farmed, biodynamic, fair trade. We also have some vegan options, and our wines can also be purchased so that you can drink them on premise. So if you'd like to buy a bottle and have a nice evening, then you can come in and do that. We also have our cocktails. So we have coffee-based cocktails, and then we have other seasonal favorites. We also have a drive-through here at Tree City. That means that you can stop by anytime, just come drive through. Maybe you've got the kids in the car, maybe you're in a hurry on your way to work. We can serve our bagels and coffee and pastries through the drive-through. Makes it even easier for you to get your coffee fix. So there was definitely a need for another coffee shop in Kent. There had been some of them closed down. I think people missed that a lot. And I think they chose Acorn Alley just because it was an up-and-coming area. We've been here for 7 years now, starting our 8th year. And when we first opened, this was all just in development. So that it started off slowly, but we've definitely grown with the growth of Kent. It's a nice community feel. People get excited about it. They love, meeting here for drinks or meeting. I've seen lots of first dates happen here. It's a great little spot.
Tree City Coffee is open 7 days a week. Coming up after the break, the hip cocktail bar with ties to Eliot Ness. Welcome back to our road trip here in Kent. How about enjoying Kent history while sipping a cocktail? This is Franklin Hotel Bar.
I guess the best way to describe it would be a upscale, but still comfortable cocktail lounge. The building was, when it was first built, it was a pool hall in the basement. And then during Prohibition, it changed to a barber shop, but if you knew what door to knock on, there was still a pool table and some booze to be found. There's a lot of stories about Eliot Ness actually coming down from Cleveland to get away from the Cleveland area, and this being his spot to have some drinks. We have a selection of about 50 craft beers. We have a pretty extensive wine list of some, a nice mix of some favorites along with some boutique wines that we really enjoy. But what we're mostly known for is our cocktails. About a year ago, we purchased a barrel of Knob Creek whiskey. They came to visit us and we formed this Bourbon Barrel Buyers Club. And then Knob Creek bottled the whole barrel for us. They made custom labels and sent it out to us. And then the program we started is we allowed people to buy those in advance, and their bottle is kept here at the bar. So they purchase the bottle, and then they come in, they say their name, and they're allowed to have it prepared for them however they prefer. We are the Franklin Hotel Bar. However, we have great food, and it's all done in a small plate style. So if someone just wants a snack with their drinks, we have some great options, and people can combine a few of those small plates to taste a few different things, but also definitely put those together for a full meal. We do a shrimp and chorizo flatbread. All our doughs for those are made in-house, and they're cut up 8 ways, so they're great for sharing for a table. We have a venison meatball that's very popular here, and then we try to stay with bar-style comfort classics. And for instance, we do a great lobster bisque that pairs great with a a hazy New England style IPA. If you're looking for a band on a Friday night, we're not your place. We don't have any TVs in here for sports. It's really, the focus is to come and enjoy time with whoever you came down with or whoever you might be meeting at the bar, and enjoying the food and drink. And I think people have appreciated that type of atmosphere.
Franklin Hotel Bar is closed on Sundays and Mondays. How about a little piece of London in downtown Kent? Did you like my accent? I tried. This is Carnaby street style.
So Carnaby Street is a street in London, and in the 60s it was really, really huge. It's part of the fashion district in London. So when we had the business plan for the store, it was always going to be a European-inspired boutique. And in 2012, we were on Carnaby Street. I was with my dad, and he said, we were at a show actually in a boutique, and it was really cool. We were in there was live music, and I turned to my dad and I said, this is how it's done, Carnaby Street style. And that was kind of like our aha moment. And we said, this has to be the name. And then we ran back to the hotel and made up logos, and that was it. And we always said it's an experience. You don't just go there and shop and then leave. It's really great customer service, and it's experiences. So we always do events. We do girls' nights out where women come in and they can shop with their friends, and we close the store. We do fashion shows in the store where we bring in like a runway and actually show like the latest fashions. We've done that. Last year we did 2 of them in the store where we brought in the runway, and it's so fun. But just experiences. We'll do like paint nights in here, jewelry making. So there's always something different going on, and then we're always changing the different fashions. Originally when we opened, we thought our huge customer base would be college students because we're in a college town. And so I think when people see us down here, that's a common misconception that we only have things for college kids. But really, we have something for everyone. We even have shirts for some guys. We're kind of evolving as time goes on too. So we have kids clothes, so we have from 2 years old all the way up to women that are in their 80s and 90s shopping with us. So these asymmetrical tunics are just one of the pieces that we carry. They're really nice because they kind of fit all body types. You can also dress them up or dress them down. So you can wear them when you're working out, or you throw on a necklace and a scarf and it makes it really dressy. We get new things in every single week. We get 6 or 8 of each piece. So once it's gone, it's gone. We won't keep getting it in. We met a wonderful college student. Her name's Katie Kimball, and she has started her own line of jewelry. She has low vision, so her and her mom kind of teamed up and do it together, and they learned how to do beading. So she's a student at Kent State, and she makes a line of earrings and necklaces for us, which this past holiday season, they were one of our biggest sellers, was her line of jewelry, which is really cool to support somebody that's out in the community, in the Kent community. Hyper stretch pants, it's one of the most popular pants that we sell. They're really great because you can wear them to work. They're nice, they're like leggings, they're stretchy like leggings, but they have zippers and they have pockets that you can use. So this is why people love these pants. Most people that come in and buy one pair end up buying them in all the different colors. We're so lucky that we have customers that are regular customers. We've made friends with the people that come into this store. And so I think it's just been nice to see the support of the community and of surrounding communities, supporting small businesses in the area.
Carnaby Street Style is open 7 days a week. Coming up, we are finding your perfect fabric. Welcome back, continuing to explore Kent here and enjoying it every step of the way. Our next stop happens to be a fabric store that was opened by a Kent State student. Pretty simple to remember, it's Kent Fabrics.
Kent Fabrics is a fabric store located in downtown Kent,
And I started it because I'm a senior fashion design major, and my fellow students and I didn't have access to high quality fabrics that we need for the program. So I know oftentimes I would have to go shop at other fabric stores that had really low quality, and I didn't want to use that to make my garments for class because I wanted them to be professional looking, and I wanted to use really fancy fabrics like brocade and taffeta and like really nice tulle, like the really nice soft tulle, and like really nice quality fabrics that I couldn't find locally. And I decided that that made no sense because we're in like the fourth fashion program in the nation, so we should have fabrics that represent that. We have all the Juki machine attachments, so we have all the different feet, invisible feet, the regular presser feet, we have the bobbins and the bobbin cases, so anything you need, even like the needles for the machine, so all the Juki industrial machine accessories. We have thread, we have all types of like nippers and things that you would use for sewing. Every type of sewing supply we would actually have in store. Our fashion design survival kit. So I actually got that recommendation from one of my advisors over at LaunchNet. So she was suggesting to me that there be some sort of like quick and easy way for you to just come in and grab a kit that has everything you need. And I thought that was perfect because I lose things all the time in the fashion program. So especially like bobbins and bobbin cases, they're so small. So there's like, it would be great to have like the pieces inside of a little kit. That way you can like put it in your bag and know that you always have those extra accessories if you happen to lose your bobbin or working on a project at midnight in the fashion building. You don't want to have to like run out to the store or like be without your bobbin sewing your project. We already have classes up on our website, so all you have to do is just click on those and like purchase it as you would like any product, and then that's your way of enrolling in that class. So yeah, we even have like a beginner's sewing class that I just released a couple days ago. So if you know nothing about sewing, don't even know what thread is, like you can come into that class and learn everything within like 2 hours, and that's a class you can actually take right here in the store. I think that sewing is just like really empowering, so it's something that's really hard to do at first because it seems scary if you're looking at a machine that you don't know how to operate, and then like just the process of learning how to thread the machine and then eventually coming up with a product that you can actually use, that's really exciting. And then I know when I first learned how to sew, it was like really cool to make something as simple as like a zipper pouch that I would normally have to go to like Target or something and buy, but then I can just make it right here in my basement. So that was like really fun to be able to make a product that like you normally would buy. It's a dream come true. Like every day I wake up, I'm just like so excited because I never even thought this would be possible, because who starts a fabric store? That's kind of crazy. Like I know obviously people like fabric store owners, but like that's just kind of like, you assume that that's just like their thing. They just always knew how to do that, but no one ever teaches you how to start a fabric store just up from the ground. Like I literally started with just a few bolts of fabric and now I have an actual store. So that's just still kind of crazy. So every day it's just like, you know, walking on clouds, the fact that I'm able to actually run a store and like I'm able to help students as well.
Kent Fabrics is in the same space as Handcrafted, which we showed you earlier in the show. They are closed though on Sundays. All right, it's getting to be time for lunch, and I don't know about you, but I'm getting hungry. How about Mike's Place?
Mike's Place is an eclectic restaurant that's very diverse as far as our clientele goes. It's not supposed to be your typical restaurant. We want to stand out from others around us.
We're a big hotspot, I guess, for Kent State students, and we get a lot of tourists all the time. Our biggest things are probably our Reuben sandwich, our hamburgers. We sell an ungodly amount. Italian food, we do a lot of Italian food. We just do a lot of everything.
She like ice.
Like eating in a junkyard, a clean junkyard. We are very clean.
The decor is, Mike's a pack rat, let's just be honest. He won't admit it, but I will. He's a pack rat. And it shows, but through that, he's able to have a unique dining experience that you're not going to have at any other place.
You know, I mean, our food is, we make everything homemade, and it takes a little bit longer than a normal restaurant. And, you know, if you're coming, you got to be prepared to wait. You know, on the weekends, there's a line out the door because we cook everything to order. We want the people that are going to come here, sit down, have a drink, enjoy your company, look at all the junk, and then we'll get the food to you.
You're able to get up from your seat, wander around, and just kind of take this place in for what it is. And it's ever changing, it's ever evolving. It's never going to be the same. So we ask that you come back as much as you want because it's never going to be the same.
I just want people to come and be relaxed. That's why, you know, this area over here is, you know, we got a couple that meets there every Sunday morning, and they sit and drink their beer. They don't have coffee, they have beer for breakfast. But it's, you know, just everyone has like their favorite spot. I mean, the bar is got a lot of personality. We have people that like to reserve the Irish pub because that's a good thing for parents because you can close the door and their kids can't escape and they can actually enjoy a meal. It's just everyone has their, their spot they like.
I think the main thing that it's just that it's fresh every day, and it has that family restaurant feel to it that you're not going to get at a chain restaurant. We actually care about the product that we have here.
I love our wing. We make schnitzel. We have what's called a buffalo chicken sandwich, which is made from 2 pieces of homemade schnitzel, and that's what the Kent State football team eats a lot of. And we just sell so much.
We're known for our breakfast as well. We serve breakfast all day long, so you can come in and experience that as well. We're also going to do something called the loaded diaper. It is pulled pork that's barbecued and then has caramelized onions in it, and it also has ground beef, and it's simply rolled up in tortilla, served on a bed of tater tots with chili and cheddar cheese. Can't get more simple than that, but it's just a play on words, and that's what this place is. It's tongue-in-cheek, and it's just fun. Fun place to be, fun place to work, and I'm happy to be here.
Mike's Place is open 7 days a week, early for breakfast. When we come back, tasty treats made from scratch. We're just about done wrapping up our tour from Kent. Welcome back here to New Day, Cleveland. We are taking another stop. This is just outside of Kent, on the outskirts, and it is a made-from-scratch bakery. This is Brimfield Bread Oven.
I wanted the bread oven to be focused in the name of the business, just because that's kind of the main feature of our business is bread baking. It is designed specifically for bread. It's got a lot of mass, as in masonry, so it can store a lot of heat for baking. The way the chamber is shaped is kind of specific for bread. Bread needs, we need a lot of space in there to bake as much bread as possible, but the ceiling is kind of low so that it can fill with steam easily. So the whole oven will hold 64 of these, 32 per half. So this is the first 32 coming out now. The brick, it retains heat really well, which is important for efficiency, but it also radiates the heat back out in a way that's very good for bread. It gives it nice oven spring, so you get good volume from it, and you get that really good crust formation from that fierce heat coming off the masonry. And I'll come in at 5 and get the oven ready, sweep the leftover ash from the wood fire from the night before out, and start baking. And when I leave here, it just kind of depends on the day. I mean, I'm usually here right up until we start our pizza service around 5:30, and sometimes I help out with that too. I honestly think that bread really taps into some old genetic history that we have. I mean, it's the staff of life. We've been eating it for thousands of years, and it's a really simple, basic food, and just one of those things that anybody can afford, and you can live on that. I really love. We make a 100% rye bread. It's very dense, kind of not like other bread you might be used to, but it is so just delicious. It's really rich and malty, and I just love that stuff. Our best known breads are probably our sourdough breads. We do a lot of naturally leavened breads. We do a country sourdough, which is kind of just like a basic, mostly white flour sourdough. We do a really good multi-grain version with a variety of toasted seeds in, and one with cranberries and toasted walnuts. Those are probably our best known breads. But we do a wide range of just European-style breads and pastries. We have a really good line of danishes. We hand laminate everything, which if you're a baker, that's a lot of work. I mean, usually you have a mechanical rolling pin called a sheeter. So we do it all by hand, and we make a few different types of danishes. The most popular one's probably blueberry and cream cheese. And I do a really nice just plain croissant and chocolate croissant. We're mostly hearing really good, positive things from people. A lot of folks are, kind of reaffirming that, this was a good time. We've been waiting for something like this. There's really nothing like this in our immediate area over here, the Kent area. So I thought that would be, the time was right for something like this here. And one of the biggest reasons we opened here is because it's where we live. We just wanted to make a go of it here. and we're in a good location for our families to live pretty nearby, so it seemed like a good fit.
Brimfield Bread Oven is open Wednesdays through Sundays. Now, what goes better with bread than cheese? So we're heading back to downtown Kent for the Kent Cheesemonger.
Kent Cheesemonger is a retail store that is focused on providing our local community with artisan level cheeses. When I say artisan level, it means that the cheeses we carry only have 4 ingredients in them. That'll be milk, rennet, salt, and an enzyme culture. Our love of cheese, we felt like it would be a great opportunity to bring that to Kent, partly because we live in Kent and we knew that it's not real easy to find really good cheeses without driving 40-45 minutes. Our focus is on cheese, and everything else we have in the store is really worked in around to support the cheese. So we have wine for drinking with your cheese and pairing with your cheeses. We have beers, meats, ciders, crackers, jams, jellies, dried meats, really anything that you might want to use to build a nice cheese tray or a cheese dinner and enjoy cheese. My wife and I love cheese. As we started to research the cheese and really look into the history of cheese, the chemistry behind cheese, how milk becomes cheese, and why does this milk become this cheese and this milk become another cheese. I found it fascinating, and as I started to research this and taste more and more of the really good cheeses, I'd have to say the passion and the love grew out of that research. In front of me I have 5 cheeses that are personal favorites and that we sell in the store. Starting on my right, we have Cotswold. It's a British cheese with onions and chives in it. It has a mild cheddar flavor. The next cheese we have here is from Rogue Creameries in Oregon. It's called Caveman Blue. Very nice balanced blue, a nice balance of sweet to the tart from the blue in the cheese. The cheese here in the middle is called Hallerhacker. It's from Switzerland. Hallerhacker is kind of like Swiss cheese on steroids. It's an extremely tasty, lots of little passing grace notes as you eat it. Right now, I'd say that's probably my favorite cheese in the whole shop. Then we have the blueberry and white Stilton. People really love it. It's a Stilton paste with blueberries in it, so you get a nice sweet from the blueberries and a little bit of tart from the paste. And this last one on the end is my favorite cheddar in the shop. It's called VAT 17 by Deer Creek, and it is a really, really sharp cheddar that is just wonderful to eat. A really good cheese is a treat. If you want to treat yourself to a great cheese, a great wine to go along with it, then the question is really, which great cheese do you want, not why not come in? We have a lot of customers who come in and are just off the hook excited that we're here.
Kent Cheesemonger is closed on Monday. So we visited a lot of places here. Some close on Sundays or Mondays, so keep that in mind when you make the drive down. Again, just about an hour away from downtown Cleveland. It's not far. There's always neat things to do and see when you're here. You can take a stroll down Acorn Alley, go visit Kent State University, see the black squirrels running around everywhere here. There's just something that's quaint and special about this town, and I think that you will find that out when you come here. We've only begun to show you some of the new awesome places to see, so come and explore yourself. I'm Natalie Hervick, and I will see you on the next New Day Cleveland.